Hi, this is Tradisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about prepare for it. So, what made me want to talk about preparing for it is earlier today, I was listening to sermons like I usually do, and as I'm listening to these sermons, I'm hearing about all these things that God does in other people's lives. I'm hearing about the stories in the Bible and how sometimes God could be saying do this and it might not make sense, or he might say go this way. Like I always talk about, he tells you to do something to test your obedience. And the whole time, sometimes we don't understand that while we're in the journey, he's preparing us for something else. While we're going through this thing, or while we're in this relationship that goes nowhere, or while we meet certain people in our life, it teaches us a lesson so that we can be prepared for the future. And sometimes we take it for granted. Sometimes we don't realize that we need to be in that season so that we could be prepared the right way. We can't just come out raw. We can't just come out undone or or rare. We need to be well done. And we can't be well done if we're not in preparation. If we're not preparing properly, if we are not in our completion, we will never make it to where God intended us to go. And so when I'm thinking about this journey and I'm thinking about some of the things I went through in the past, some things I know were my doing. It was not because this is what God intended for me. He probably knew I was going to make all those missteps anyways. And he also knew that he could use it for his good. He also knew that regardless of what it was that I chose to do on my own cognizance, that he was going to reap the benefits of whatever decision I made. And so as I go through like the single season and I talk about like waiting and things like that, and when I say waiting, I'm not taking that from like a book somewhere or something like that. I'm saying it because while you are waiting for instruction from God, while you're waiting for the next season of your life, and you could be in a season of, it could be a single season, it could be a season of self-love, self growth journey. It could be a season of preparing for like a career or preparing for the next thing that God has for you. You could be in a relationship, out of a relationship, married, not married. Whatever it is that you're doing, God is preparing you in that season to be exactly where you are, exactly how you are. He's not expecting you to be already done. He's expecting you to go through these things that will make you stronger. He's expecting you to go through these things to strengthen you in areas that you're weak. He's expecting you to go through these things so you can learn lessons and pull them from different situations, different people that you encounter, different people that you encounter in any way. It could be a friendly way, a work way, a romantic way, whatever way it is. Whenever you meet another person, whenever you encounter another human being, you can pull anything from that conversation. And for me, whenever I talk to anyone, I always try to learn something. Like I it used to annoy me so much, and it doesn't now because people are people. But it really used to annoy me when I would meet someone and they would act like they know all the answers, like they got everything figured out. It was nothing wrong with having confidence. It's nothing wrong with being sure of yourself or knowing some things, but not every person knows everything. And when people when people would in the past say things like oh, yeah, that's, you just do this, like they would ask you a question to get you to help them with something and then act like they already know the answer. I'm like, why you even ask me that? Or you'd go do something and it would be the wrong way and they would just assume, like they would just automatically feel like, oh well, I never do something like that. And it'd be like, okay, so there's no perfect human, the only perfect person is God. So I don't know. I don't like being someone who knows everything is scary to me, because that means that you're not willing to learn. That means you're not willing to grow or evolve, or you're not willing to take anything that life has and use it as a stepping stone for something else, or taking that knowledge or see something from another perspective. And if you are only thinking from one side, if you are so closed off on learning any new information, then you are not growing as a human being, and that's scary to me. I don't ever want to be in a place in my life that I feel like I have all the answers, because if I have all the answers, we are screwed. Like the human population and existence ceases to exist if I have all the answers at this very moment. Like there I'm going to definitely need to continue to learn, because I cannot pretend as if I can't learn something from someone, no matter who it is. I don't care if I went to school longer than you. I don't care if I'm older than you. Like, old age does not mean wisdom. You are wise in wanting to seek knowledge and seeking God. That's what makes you wise. Wisdom is from someone who truly, genuinely wants to learn more information and to seek more understanding about something in life. You can't just be old and then somebody just say, oh, you're wise because you're 82. That doesn't mean anything. That just means you grew older. Now, growing older, gracefully wiser is something totally different. You could be a 12-year-old and have more wisdom than an 82-year-old. It just depends on you being willing to learn, you being willing to know that you don't have all the answers. I'm my hope for myself and the thing that I pray all the time is God, no matter how old I am, always show me that I have more to learn. Always give me more information. I always want to be the type of person who wants to learn something else, something new. I don't ever want to be the type of person who gets to a place where I'm like, oh, I'm 92 years old. I know everything. I don't know everything. Technology's changed since then. I don't know everything. People are different. Like, people at their core could be the same or similar as other people, but even if you and someone else has the same story, your journey is different. Even if I learned this one thing from this person who had the same childhood as me, the next person, I might learn something totally different. We might learn something from each other because I might have been able to deal with something better than that person did, or I. Like, we just can always pull something from any situation. And I always tell the story about me talking to like younger family members or whatever else, or younger people. And when I have a conversation with them, I really try to be intentional and hear what it is that they're saying. I really try to look them in their eyes and know that they're being and let them know that they're being heard. I don't ever try to pretend like, oh, I got all the answers. I don't have to hear anything that you're saying because I know everything. Like, I never, and I don't want to come at it from that angle and be that type of person who's older that's like, oh yeah, I know everything. You kids don't know anything. Like, no, kids know how they feel. They know what it is that they're going through. I might have been their age a long time ago, but some of that is a little gray. Like, some of it's a little hazy. I don't remember everything. I remember certain situations, how I felt in certain situations, but I don't know how it feels to be that age at that very moment. And me listening to them, hearing them out, understanding how it is that they're feeling, seeing different ways that they can communicate better or they can get through this issue or error in their life is something that brings me joy. It's something that makes me see things from a whole nother perspective. And I can't do that if I'm blocked off, if I'm just acting like I got all the answers and I know everything. Like, I might not know, but we could figure it out together. How about that? Because I cannot sit here and pretend like I know everything. Like, oh, you got a question for me? I can give you an answer. It might or might not be right, but wouldn't it be best if I was completely honest in saying that I'm learning just as you are? I'm not just like, people don't just look and then in the dictionary they see knowledge and it's like my picture sitting there. Like, that's not what's happening. And so I have to be real about that with the people that I encounter and the different conversations that I have. I have to understand that I don't have all the answers. I have to understand that I can always learn something new. I have to understand that no matter who I encounter, and no matter who they are or how different our opinions may seem from the beginning, me being able to sit down and listen to what it is that they're saying allows me to gain a whole nother perspective. It allows me to see things from their point of view instead of just seeing it from my point of view, because they haven't lived the life that I lived. They haven't went through the things that I did, and even if they did, our journey is different. But what God is using in me in this platform in whatever area of my life that he moves me to is going to be different than the person beside me who had the same type of childhood or the same type of things that they went through or the same adversities in their life. No two people are ever going to be alike. So when someone sits down with me or I have a conversation with someone and they're like, I know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I already know that. I got all the answers. I know all these things. I'm just like it, for me, I feel afraid for them because I'm like, I mean, it's good to be confident. I mean, it's good to fake it till you make it in some areas. It really is. But oof, if I don't know, I'm gonna say I don't know. That's just me. I can't judge that person. I can't. I mean, I'm making an observation, but I really don't know what they went through. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know if it's like a defense mechanism, like the one that I use when I didn't want to be vulnerable. Like I don't know what their thing is. So it could be something that has to do with something in their past or whatever else. And most of the time, it is. Most of our issues stem from childhood or from a past experience. Most of the time, we don't just wake up like this. Even though there's songs that coin that phrase, it's really just things in life help build us into the person that we are. And the good thing about God is when you find Him, even when it's something bad, even when it's something that you don't think can be used for good, He could use it for His glory. He could use it for good. He can turn that tragedy, that traumatic event, and turn it into you helping millions of people. He could turn it into a movement where you change the world. He could turn it into a book. He could turn it into a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel, whatever it is. He can turn it into something that would help inspire thousands upon millions of people. And you might think, oh, no one will ever listen to me. No one will ever do this. Why would anyone want to pay attention to me? Why would anyone think that I'm special? Or why would anyone feel like my voice matters? But if you have the power of speaking, if you are talented or gifted in speaking, if God gave you an assignment, follow through on it, because you could be the quietest person ever, but God will give you the words that you need to spread your testimony. He will give you whatever it is, whatever tools that you need. I promise you, you don't ever have to worry about trying to find it, because if God put it on your heart to do it, if this is something that God intended for you to do, He will open every single door that you need, or close doors that will hold you back, to make sure that you have every single thing that you need to be humble, to be exactly where He intended you to be, helping people in the way that He intended you to. And if you're like me, you will sit here and be like, I don't even remember saying half of those things. And it's just because God really put it on your heart to do it. It's not that you're doing it for selfish gain, or you're doing it because you just want to be on a computer screen or something, or a phone, whatever it is that you're filming from. It's because God called you to do it. And what some people don't understand is when God calls you, that doesn't mean you get $1 million tomorrow. That doesn't mean you get 1 million subscribers tomorrow. That means that it takes time for you to learn from your mistakes, for you to build in different areas, for you to find your niche, for you to reach the type of audience that God intended for you to reach in whatever area of your life. And for me, for some reason, it's a different age bracket than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know what I was thinking. I really had no idea, but but it was just like, okay, okay, I see that. All right. And then like, hold on, side note. I know like I always talk about like the hair or whatever else. So my plan was to wash my hair, and I'm gonna do like some old fashioned kinky twist or something. Like, do y'all remember those back in the day? Like people in the early 2000s used to come out in the videos and stuff, or like different movies and everything. They have like little Senegalese twists, I think is what they call them now. But back in the day, we called them kinky twists with a little with a little spiral curl on the end. But okay, I'm gonna do something similar to that. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it or when I'm gonna find the time to do it, but I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. I think once I got to do some stuff early in the morning. I got like 4 hours before I got to go work and go to sleep and everything else. So yeah, but I am I'm gonna go do that. I got like this thing that I'm doing tomorrow, little side thing. So I mean, not little side thing. I'm helping out someone else, and I love doing it. So I'm gonna go do that early in the morning, and after I leave doing that, then I'm going to try to do my hair. I'm gonna try. I probably won't have time. You know what? I really won't have time. I might be able to make it work. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to have to yeah, cuz this my hair is like It's okay. I mean, it's good. It looks good. My hair is healthy. That's the main thing. It's the most important thing. And if you ever hear anybody talk about like length or intention or whatever else, or taking care of your hair, making sure it's healthy, make sure that you don't have any hangnails. Make sure that you file your nails so that anything that's sitting up is filed off so you don't end up breaking off pieces of your hair. Make sure that it's nice and moisturized with aloe vera, but check and make sure that aloe vera is good for your hair. Coconut oil is good for everybody's hair but mine. Like whenever I put coconut oil in my hair, it gets really dry and brittle. A lot of people say it helps them prevent them from breaking their hair off, but for me, it really makes my hair super dry and it tangles. Like like it should give it more slip, but it just really dries it out a lot and it just doesn't work for me. I can only use like the avocado oils, jojoba, black castor oil, stuff like that. Is what I can use in my hair that gives it a little slip in aloe vera. I can use the aloe vera plant and mix it with, different oils for like a pre-conditioner. I mean, a pre-poo, pre-shampoo or something like that. But whenever you are detangling your hair, the most important thing that you could possibly do is detangle with your fingers. It takes forever. It really does. At the beginning, my hair, I cut it so short. I had like a little, it was like really short and cut real close at the bottom and not real close. It was like probably that long. And I got braids. I got braids when my hair was like to here. And I was like, the last time my hair was growing was when I was natural, so I'm gonna go natural. And one of my colleagues was natural, so she kind of inspired it because I was like, okay, the last time I was natural, my hair was really long. I used to have hair down to like here, I think, like right. And I'm only saying this not to be derogatory or anything like that, but it's called bra strap length. And I don't mean it in like any way like that. I just am talking about the technical term of it or whatever else. The like this is legit what it's called, like chin length, eye eye length, nose length, shoulder length, bra strap length, waist length, hip length. That's just like how we do it in the natural. I don't know if like other people do it that way, but usually that's like the terminology that we use as a natural. And so I always give like a little lesson about hair. Nobody cares about it, but I'm just telling you. And so so finger detangling with moisture is the best thing that you could do if you want to retain length in your hair. Because when you're using a comb, it's going to be pulling out your hair. And a good way to tell if the comb is breaking your hair off or if you're detangling the wrong way is if you get little teeny pieces, like you see the length of my hair. If I get a piece that's like this long, my hair is breaking at the bottom. And that's not good. That means I'm not retaining any length. That means that my hair is breaking off. Now, if I get a piece of hair that is this length, like from top to bottom is that length, then that's just natural shedding. That's what's supposed to happen. And so, whenever you are detangling your hair, please, please, please add a whole bunch of moisture in it. I don't care if you got to use a whole bottle of conditioner. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, you can put like some water and like probably I don't want to say a fistful. Like, you know how you like a really good helping hand of a really good hand of a handful of conditioner is like a good gauge, or like at least like if you squeeze like this much out of the bottle into the water and you spray it on different sections of your hair, you do that. Make sure it's like completely wet, especially if you're natural. Make sure it's completely moisturized. Make sure it's completely like you have so much slippage, it's ridiculous. Like you don't want to have so much slippage that you gotta change your shirt. If you have that much, or when you're doing it, like I'm not gonna do it in a shirt like this. I'm gonna get an old t-shirt and I'm gonna like spray my hair down. It's gonna be running all down my face. I'm gonna look like look crazy, but it's gonna be worth it. And so you just spray it on different sections. You work in different sections of your hair, and what you do is you pull it, and then so like I have a piece right here. You see that knot right there? So I would just go like this, and you would completely, and you don't want to do this on dry hair, so don't do like I'm doing, but you just completely just keep on pulling it apart until you get the knot out. And then once you pull up on one piece and down on other, you see how the knot is gone? But that's what you do. And you do that on moisturized hair. You do that in every single section you go through. You take your time. Do not rush. If you are rushing, you are breaking your hair off and you will not retain any length because your hair continues to grow. But when you do stuff that is rough with it, when you do stuff and you're not being as gentle with your hair, it can really break it off. And so you have to make sure you have the time to do it. So I'm saying this long drawn out story to tell you that I so my plan is tomorrow I'm going to try to make a window of time, a long period of time for me to go in and pre-poo. And instead of like pre-pooing with some other stuff, I didn't get an aloe vera plant this time. I did get avocado, so I have that stuff. But what I'm going to do is spray down different sections of my hair, finger detangle, because since I did not obey what God told me to do to grow my hair, which is, I guess I shouldn't tell it because I don't want to just be telling all the stuff that me and God talk about, and then people are like, God told me this too. Like no, you just got to get your own relationship with God. This is what happened with me, so I'm gonna do those things that God told me that I should be doing to take care of my hair because it's a part of me, and not because I'm trying to idolize it, but because I really want to take care of every part of me, inside and out. I want to make sure that I'm in therapy dealing with the inside. I want to make sure that I am, working with a life coach or whatever else to make sure that I'm setting goals and reaching the goals that I'm setting forth for myself. I want to make sure that from the bottom to the top, why did I go like this? From the bottom to the top, I'm taking care of everything. I'm taking care of my feet, my legs, and this is like a real thing. Like, I know people hear me talk and people in videos try to make it seem like they do the most or whatever else, and it's just the easy thing. Like, I just woke up like this. Oh, I keep saying that, but seriously, people really make it seem like that, but it really takes work. You don't just wake up like that. Like, you really have to be intentional about your eating habits. You have to be intentional about the type of foods that you are putting into your body, the type of drinks that you're drinking, the type of stuff that you're putting on your skin, on your body. Like, I I use a regular, like, I use Dove because it's got the soap scum thing and all that other stuff. But also Dove is really good for sensitive skin, and since I break out like super easily, so Dove is really good for my skin. So I use the Dove to moisturize my entire body, besides my face because I use something totally different for my face. And I go through and I also use an exfoliant as well, and the exfoliant is just to help with like, different things on your body, whatever else. And it helps to like get down and, do all these different things that your skin needs to make it softer. And so any of like dry skin or any like dead skin cells or whatever else, it helps to exfoliate that right off your entire body. And so that's what I use. I literally have a exfoliant tool that looks just like a like scalp massager, but it's for your legs and the bristles are a little different. And you have to I'm so intentional about this. Taking care of my skin is ridiculous. Like, I make sure I get the pedicures like once a month. I make sure that every 2 weeks I'm doing pedicures. But once a month I'm going in the salon, I'm getting a pedicure. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm doing a home pedicure. And I'm making sure that, yeah. So I take the exfoliant, and what you do is, it's directions on it as well. But on the upper parts of your legs, you go in circular motion because you don't want to put scratches because it'll end up giving you stretch marks, especially if your skin doesn't have enough elasticity or you're not moisturizing your legs or whatever else. So you go in circular motion, bottom half of my legs, you go like this up and down. And what it does is it helps with when you're about to shave and things like that as well, and also makes your skin softer. So I do that. I mean, I'm like so intentional about this. Like I said, the pedicures is every 2 weeks. I do a home one. I do one in the salon. I do the thing with the legs. I do that like every 3 days because I want to make sure that, when I'm shaving, when I'm doing stuff like that, that it's really like I'm really making sure that my legs are soft, that they are exfoliated, that any of the skin cells or whatever else is not just building up, any of my pores are not clogged, all of the things. And I make sure, like, for my face, the 3-step program, my hands, I make sure that, like, every 3 weeks I'm doing like some sort of fill or some kind of nail polish or design or something. And I exercise every single day. Exercise every day. I eat healthy pretty much every day, except for like one day a week. I might have something bad or something like that. But that's it. I really make sure that when I'm doing things, I'm being super intentional. And I even tried this, I think it's called hyaluronic acid. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it again. But I started getting this stuff. It's supposed to be like a natural deodorant for your arms, for your underarms. But I do that, and I also use Lumi for, under the arms and everything else. And like, I'm so intentional about this. Like, the only thing that I haven't been doing is, like I said, when I would detangle my hair, I would use the comb before, and my hair would be completely moisturized. It would be easy to detangle, but my hair just didn't seem like it was growing as fast as it did when I first was detangling with my hands and everything else. Like, it seemed like it really just was ripping out my hair. And the more you pick with your hair when it's dry, the easier it is for it to break off as well. So I try to make sure that I don't do as many things as I usually do. Like, that's why you've been seeing, like, the past week I've been wearing my hair like this a lot, or it was in a ponytail, like one ball for like 3 days or something like that. Because I try to make sure I'm not constantly manipulating it and breaking it off in different areas and putting it in the same spot so it breaks off around the hair tie and things like that. And even with the teeth, like, I do the tongue scrape, the toothbrush, the floss, the doctor. I can never teeth. No, it's not that. It's Doctor something. I don't know. It's TheraBreath. TheraBreath, I think is what it's called. It's like a Listerine thing, but it's like a dentist recommended Listerine, whatever. And not like the commercials where it just needs to be one dentist that said it and it says dentist recommended, because you really only need one for them to say that on a bottle. No, this is like something that has been like experimented on. It's like really been tested, all this other stuff. Like, it really does work. It's really good. Like, it helps with keeping your breath fresh, keeping your mouth, moisturized for like several hours, things like that. Like, right now I'm at the end of my shift. So of course, like, when I'm doing these videos, my throat is so extra dry. But like right before I go to bed and in the morning, I try to make sure I always do all of those things. And then I do like my teeth whitening when I feel like I really, really need to do it, or like it starts to, like, if I've been drinking a lot of different things or I've been eating stuff that has been like harsh on my teeth, then I will do like a whitening treatment. And my goal was to do it like every 3 weeks or something like that, because you don't want to do it too often because it weakens the enamel of your teeth. Or I would do like a natural teeth whitening instead of using the whitening treatment. And I try to do that like at least every 3 weeks or something like that. But I am super intentional about every single part of my body. I want to make sure that God knows that I appreciate every single thing that I have. I appreciate, everything from the top of my head to my feet. Like, honestly. And I don't want him to feel like I'm taking any of it for granted. I went on this whole story though, but again, I told a whole story and I still never finished saying. So after I talked about all the stuff I have to do to detangle my hair, so I'm gonna need like a good window to do that. So when I finish working in the morning, my plan is to detangle. Then after I detangle, I'm going to do I guess it's like a pre-poo thing. So I guess that's just more like a conditioner, water, or slippage to detangle. And then the other one is more just for like, it's really for me to just pre-poo my hair to get it prepared for me to wash it. And I make like this avocado mix stuff, and no, it's not the one that you're thinking of. It's something that I used before then, and I don't put the same things in there. It's a little different. It's something that I made for my hair because it really works. It helps with me not having as many tangles when I'm detangling my hair in the shower, when I'm doing different stuff. It helps it keep it from retangling, and then it keeps it moisturized, and it also, like, when you see my curls popping, it's because I either added apple cider vinegar or something to it. Like if you spray a little bit of apple cider vinegar on your hair, it really makes your hair shine. That's why like it looks so luxurious on day one, even though my curls are like this short. I'm like, what in the world? You can't just like elongate a little bit. You really gotta, the shrinkage gotta be that real. But yeah, it's like the struggle is real. And so just when I am doing things in my life, I really want to be intentional. I really want to make sure that I'm letting God know that I appreciate everything that He's given me. Like in this season, I really want to take in the journey. I want to experience and appreciate the journey. I'm doing this thing, two things next year. Well, I'm doing a few things, but there's two things that I'm doing next year, and one of them is going to be on my own. It's going to be the first trip that I'm going on my own, that I've ever went on my own. And it's going to be so much fun. Like I'm speaking that into existence because I really believe it's what you expect it to be, like what you set your expectations to be. Not that I'm expecting it to have like some kind of miraculous thing happen and do like the most, but I do want to appreciate my life. And now I got my notes hung up in there. That's all right. Okay, there we go. But I'm speaking, I'm going to appreciate every moment, and I'm going to make sure that I am looking to God every single day, that I'm being intentional about my days that I'm there. And it's not a vacation from God, it's a vacation. Oh, I mean, it's some time away. And I think it'll be really cool to see myself going somewhere. And it's not the first time. I did a mini thing, but I was in a relationship, but I went away for the first time alone, and it was like a mini thing. It really made me see how codependent I was in that relationship when I got away. It really allowed me to see, like, hey, I can do this on my own. And it'll be really cool to not be with anyone at all. I say that, and then God will be like, you thought. But no, like I'm not saying it like God, I'm trying to like neglect or reject anything that you're trying to send into my life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just appreciating the season that I'm in, and this is what I'm, from this point, what I can see, because I can't see what you can see. But but I am going to, this will be the first time I go anywhere where I haven't been in any type of relationship, where I'm going by myself. And I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait. It'll be so cool to just go on an adventure and just explore this new area and meet different people and just really take in the scene. Just enjoy being in that moment, in that place that, I never would have thought of me going somewhere like that by myself. But I also know, like, of course I'm going to be safe, and I do have other people that will be there, but we won't be there together. I mean, we'll do some stuff in the same place, but I will be it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so thankful, God. Like, I'm so thankful. You don't even understand. It means so much to me to be able to do this on my own without talking to or being with anybody. And I guess I shouldn't say talking to, because really I'm not with them anyway. So, okay. Without being in a relationship with anyone, going to this place is awesome. Oh my goodness. I'm just smiling because you know how God does. You really, like, if you know God like I know God, like you will think that you're going to do things in your life, or you got this control over this thing, or you're going to act like this in this situation, you're going to do this way, and you're going to go here, here, and here, and then you're going to end up here. And God's like, you're going to go here and here and here so I can move you here so you can end up there. And you're thinking you're going to go here, 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 and there. Like, that makes sense to go there like that. But God is saying that you're just gonna go straight on through. You're gonna end up right where He intended for you to go. And you might have thought this was gonna happen, but this isn't what He planned. And it happens every single time. Every time I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. God's like, mm-mm. Why did I say it like somebody's grandma that's like giving you the side eye? Mm-mm. But no, seriously, it's just like, oh my gosh. Mm, I'm just, I'm ready for whatever it is that God has for me. I'm just going to say it that way. I'm looking forward to the trip. I'm looking forward to spending some time by myself. And I'm also open and understanding that God has control of my life and everything in it. So, regardless of what I think is about to happen, all I can do is stay focused on God and make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do, being the best that I can be. That's all I can do because I don't have any control over anything else. So, while I'm in this season, I want to be as prepared as God is going to make me for whatever it is that He has in my future. I want to be prepared for, any new relationships, any new experiences, any new people, any new places, any new whatever level he's taking me to, whatever he wants to bring me into or whatever he removes out of my life. I want to be preparing for it. I want to be enjoying every step of this journey. I want to appreciate every moment that I'm in because we always like look at one thing like it's so great, not understanding that it's great exactly where we are. Like, if we stop looking at what someone else is doing, if we stop looking at someone else's journey or someone else's relationship or someone else's job or someone else's car or house or kids or whatever it is, we could really sit there and appreciate what God has already blessed us with and be thankful for the things that we already have. Like, why spend all this time being ungrateful when God is trying to bless you with so much more? When God is trying to give you so many things that He really needs you to have. Like, He can't continue to bless you with things if you're going to be unappreciative. If you're going to be the type of person who's constantly always feeling like you want more, 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 and you don't appreciate what you have, He can't give you anything else because He's not going to give you more to not appreciate that as well. He's trying to get you to appreciate what you have so He can give you more. And oh my gosh, why do I always talk so long? Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be on here real quick. I haven't ate anything. Let me go eat a quick snack. And I know people are gonna get on me and say, you should not be eating this late because you can't go to bed on that type of food. And you are completely right. It is unhealthy to eat that late because your body doesn't have enough time to process the food and it's going to end up messing up your system. It's going to end up messing with you. It's not going to help add fuel to your body. It's going to be more like making you more sluggish in the morning when you feel like you're tired. It's because your food hasn't had enough time to process and things like that. So I know I might not eat anything because I know it's the wrong thing to do. And I also understand that I haven't ate anything since I had my smoothie at like 4. So it's been a long time. So yeah. But I don't feel hungry. I just know that I needed to eat more food because I haven't eaten anything yet. But what I might do, I could, no, I'm not going to do a gummy. I was going to say I could do like a multivitamin or something and then just add the extra nutrition and then I can still go to sleep. But then that still has to process through my system as well. So yeah, I'm just probably going to go to bed. I'm probably going to like do the whole teeth skin, everything, and then just get ready for bed because I really do need to get some kind of rest. I thought that I had like I thought that I had a good like 8 9 hours, but really I got 4. So and it's less time than that now. So so yeah, I really do need to get ready to go to bed. I don't even feel tired right now until I wake up. To that, you know how it is, because you'll be like, "Oh, I'm not even tired. I'm good," and then the alarm goes off at like 3 o'clock, 3:30 or whatever, because you got to be there at 4, and you're like, I only went to sleep for like a minute. It doesn't even feel like you slept that long. And then you getting ready to hit snooze, forgetting that you really got to get up. Am I the only person that does that? But seriously, like, uh, that's how I always feel. I always feel like so energized the night before. And then I'm like, oh, I could sleep on a couple hours, which is not healthy. Like, I really do have a schedule. I really do have a time that I go to sleep. And sometimes I don't always follow that. Like every once in a while, I try to pretend like I'm super young. Like, you know how I'm the only person that's going to say this and admit to it. But you know how back in the day you go out and you be out all super late at night, like until 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Then you got to get up at 7 o'clock, or you got to get up at 4 or 6 or whatever it is. You only got 4 hours of sleep and you still bounce back like it's nothing. Like, I'm not at that age. I'm not about to bounce back like it's nothing. Like, it's going to catch up with me. One night I was writing, I don't even have my book in here. I do. Do I want to get up and get it? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get up. I keep like my book on the thing, but so one night I was writing this book, 30 Days of Inspiration to Include in Your Everyday Life, and as I was writing this book, like, I don't know what came over me. I was sitting there and I was pondering on some sort of thought, and I was sitting there and I was just like spending some time alone with God, and this program popped up on the computer about creating books. And I said, I want to write a book. And God had put it in my heart to write this book already. And I was like, but God, like, I don't even know if I could write a book at all. Like, what, And so, and I wasn't trying to tell God, like, I don't think God can make anything happen. But I was just like, me, like, you want to use me, like, for real? You're just kidding, right? And so I'm sitting there and I look at this program and I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool. It's got like all of these different applications, it's got all of these different functions. I think I could learn something like this, or I want to learn it. Like, out of nowhere, I just wanted to learn it. So I'm sitting there playing around with these buttons, doing different things on the program, creating different pages, creating different working with the illustrator to create pictures and things like that, and creating different formats, formatting different things. And if you ever have written a book, oh my goodness, formatting is not easy. Some person's gonna pop up and be like, oh, formatting is so easy because there's YouTube videos on it now. I wasn't looking at a YouTube video while I was figuring it out by myself. And when you don't know like the program and how it's set up to like take in different functionalities or different things, especially when it comes to formatting, because it's so strenuous and it's really timely. It's one of those things that you have to really try to tweak little by little. It's not something you can do all at once. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I think I can figure out this formatting thing. And I'm formatting and formatting and formatting, and it has this thing about like turning it into a book or turning it into an ebook. And so the first thing I did was turn it into an ebook, but I don't have this one available online because I took it off the site. So as long as I worked with the company, I could have it on site. But this book was available until all of my books were sold out. So I think I have two. I have this one that is for me that I keep because I want a copy of all the books that I wrote. And I could always order another one, I know, but I wrote in this already. So I don't want to I wrote like a little note to myself. This was before I wrote the other book. You can't even see it. There you go. And it just says never allow anyone to stop your purpose, because I have to remind myself that I'm doing this for God, and that no matter who comes into my life, I can't allow them to manipulate my mind or to turn me into who they want me to be. I have to remember who I am. And so that's why I wrote that. But I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm going to write this. I'm going to see if I could really do this. Like, okay, God, you're saying, like, not like I'm trying to roll my eyes at God or anything, but I'm like, you're saying that I can write a book. And I love writing. Like, I didn't even know that was something that I really could do. I just thought it was something I love to do. Like, I was like, oh yeah, like when it comes to writing, I just I just started this notebook yesterday, and I literally just love to write a lot. And I do that all the time. It's not just like this one notebook. It's like I filled up several notebooks because I just love writing. And I don't know what it is. It's just something about getting your thoughts onto paper and being able to see it into fruition. It's kind of like when God's using you for something and you don't really know what the purpose of it is. You don't even know why He's allowing you to do this or taking you this way. And then once you see your purpose fulfilled, or you see like God's work in action, you see all the things that you've been doing and how it led you to this, it's like, wow, you know I never would have imagined something like this, but God knew it the whole time. He was taking, you were the thoughts that he was taking, and he was putting into life, into real life, putting your purpose into real life. And so I'm sitting there working with all these functions, working with all these these different things on the application and setting up formatting and working with the illustrator. I'm doing this like legit. It's like 9 or something. No, it was 7. I think it was like 7 at night or something like that. And I was here alone and I'm just writing and everything else. And I was like, you know, as I'm going through the self-love journey, it would be really good to have like some kind of affirmations or something that can allow me to stay on track, something that will really keep me focused and allow me to remember who I am or what really helped me. And so like as I was writing it, filling up the pages of my 80-page notebook that I had, my spiral notebook that I got from Walmart. Shout out to Walmart, just kidding. But as I was filling up that book, I was writing down all these things that were helping me because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to need it again in another moment in the future. I don't know if this is the only toxic relationship I will be in. I don't know if this is something to do with me. But all I know is I want to work on myself and I want to be better. I want to do whatever it takes, take whatever knowledge I can from all of the books that I'm reading, any course that I can take, any life coach that I can work with, any therapist, whatever they're saying to me that's helping me, I need it to be in this book. And so it gave me this idea to do this that night, like as I was spending time with God, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know. Like, I just know that I want to follow you. I want to do whatever it is that you need me to do. I want to be in my purpose. And so this book was written so that you can take whatever it is that you're going through that day. Like this one says, I'm loving, and it says, lead in love and show love to those around you, even those that aren't kind. And shout out to Illustrator, he did real good. But but you would the idea of this book is for you to take something that you learned from that day, or it's a day to day, 30 days. So that day, whatever it is that you did, like however rude the person was or whatever else, how you responded, how you calmed yourself down, how you really got into a really cool, calm space, how you allowed yourself to see things from another perspective, or how you led with kindness and love instead of like being aggressive or angry, or really just having at them, really just like throwing that energy back at them. And is the idea is whatever worked that day will continue to work throughout your life. The situation might not always be the same, but you will always be similar to the person that you used to be. That will always be a part of you. So anything that worked then may be able to help you. And then even if you have to add things throughout your life, other things that have helped as well, it will be something that you can keep with you and you can continue to use throughout your life. So I just had that idea and I just started working with the illustrator. I started making pages. I started going through. The illustrator did real good. If you see like the artwork in here is amazing. Like I was really, really, really pleased with the work that they did. It was amazing. And so wrote this book and wrote it, worked with the illustrator, designed it, um, worked with the publisher, got it turned into an ebook, turned it into a regular book, and put in my order in 12 hours. In 12 hours, I did this. God did this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God. No, seriously, God did this. This is what God can do if you give him your life. If you just allow him to lead you, allow him to guide you through your life, if you allow him to just be in control instead of you trying to do everything, he can do legit anything. Like you really feel like it's you really feel like, oh, if you're working hard enough, you can do it. No, God gave me energy where I didn't even feel like I had it. I didn't even know that I felt fine enough to do that. I literally stayed up from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and worked on this book and completed it because of God. It was all God. God, I was spending time with him. I was allowing him to just take control of my life, do whatever it is that he needed to do. And he literally like just gave me everything I needed. He literally gave me the energy. He gave me the people to work with. He gave me like, and it shouldn't have even been anybody to work with that late at night or whatever else. Like, he just makes opportunities happen out of nowhere. And I know you think I'm over exaggerating, but it's so, so true. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it to someone that won't get it, because you really have to be in his presence to understand. You really have to give your life to him to understand what I'm saying. And it's just, when he says he does exceedingly and abundantly above all else, he can do anything. And I mean, it's just, I shocked myself because, like, I knew I loved writing and things like that. And I knew that I wanted to help people, but I did not know that this could happen. And when I saw this come into fruition, when this book came in the mail, I was really like, wow, God, you did it. You really allowed me to do this. I really can do this. Like, I thought that this was impossible, and you allow me to make it happen. And then this book led to the 5 R's book that I have. And the 5 R's is just like, it's a workbook that comes with this book. While I was writing this book, I did like a rough draft, and I got to like the very end of the book. And at the very end of the book, it says something like 5 R's that you should implement in your life. And I went through and I listed them. Like the very last page, I think, of the book says that. And I knew this book wasn't published yet, and I had been looking for editors. And so as I was finishing up this book, I wrote that 5 R's book. And it's just a workbook. It's not something that's like big or anything else, but the 5 R's book goes with this. For people that went to like my book signing, they got the 5 R's for free for any person that asked or whatever else. So I ended up giving those people the 5 R's book. And any person who, like, I had like a little app on my phone, so when people weren't checking out or whatever else, they could just scan it, and then it pulled up the book for them so they could have a PDF version of the book. And so the intention was, when people read this from beginning to end, when they get to the very end of the book, they can use that workbook and they can put down the 5 things that they will use that will help change their life. Having good people in their life, having the right type of mindset, resolving relationships that really do matter to you. Things like that were what was in this workbook. And you write down the things that really truly matter to you and what you learned and how you can use it for your benefit. And so many people, God, I try not to cry in these videos, and every single time I talk about God, I end up tearing up. God really saw this in me before I even saw it in myself. And I'm trying not to cry. I really am trying to like hold it in. It's so hard. But he knew this was possible even before my pen touched the paper. Before I even typed this up, before I even got it published, he knew this was possible. Before I even wrote this book, he told me that it was possible. And I literally have proof that God is who he says he is. I really have proof that God is a God that he does not lie. I really have proof that he doesn't see you the way other people sees you. He sees in you what he created you to be, not what other people want you to be. And oh my gosh, I look a hot mess. He really can use anybody. You feel like because you made mistakes or because you did something wrong, that means that he can't use you. And that means that he can use you even more, because he will use all of the things that you did wrong as a testimony to help other people who don't believe in themselves. He will use you as a testimony for other people who are bullied or people who don't see their worth, or people who have been through toxic relationships, and you don't even know that your story can be used as a testimony and other women will feel encouraged by it. And God knew the whole time. He knew. And I don't know about you, but it's really amazing when someone believes in you like that. Even when you don't believe in yourself, even when you can't see how, He really got your back. And it's amazing. It really is. And it's so crazy because I have living proof. And still, when God tells me stuff about my life, the things that He wants to do, sometimes I get spiritual amnesia and I start to feel like, are you sure, you want to do this for me? Like, are you sure this is what you want to bless me with? Like, I keep forgetting that He's a God that has grace and mercy, that He's a God that knows me from beginning to end. He knows that I'm not that person anymore. He knows that I do deserve better now. He knows that I I I do deserve to be happy. And the things that I want, or the things that I need in my life, that God wants for my life, I really can have those things. And I don't know why, but I'm glad that He gave me this reminder that He is who He says He is. And if God promised you something, He's going to give it to you. You might have to go through a journey. It might not be what you expected. It might not look like what you intended it to look like. But it'll be exactly what God needed for you to do, for you to go through, in order for Him to bless you with more, in order for Him to give you the things that He has for you. He can't give it to you prematurely because you will destroy yourself. You will destroy your purpose. You won't be focused on your purpose. Everything that God has for you is exactly what you need. It's not going to be what you want. It's going to be what you need. If God had allowed me to be in a relationship with any of the people that I had prayed that I would be in a relationship with, and I'm going to say this because I'm going to be the only person that's going to be willing to say this. Some people just going to say, I never prayed about something like that. That's ridiculous. Girl, you know that you have prayed for that guy that means you no good. That guy that you should definitely not be with. You over there praying like, God, if you just give me this one thing, I'm going to stop doing. But you know that after you get it, you was going to like kind of slide back and start doing that thing again. So let's be real. You done prayed about it. Be honest with yourself. Nobody can see you. But seriously, if God had gave you that guy, oh, you know how messed up you would be. You know how many things you would have gave up for that guy. You would end up in prison. Like, I say that jokingly, but when you like somebody that much, when you're willing to pray for something that God didn't even tell you was for you, when you are willing to sacrifice your own sanity for a man or a woman, that's probably not the best thing for you. Because can you imagine what you will be willing to do for that guy, for that relationship? You are already praying about this guy. Can you imagine what you would be willing to do if you get it? If God gave you that, oof, you be stressed out. You be out on you be in something you can't get out of. You would. Then the only thing that's going to be able to help you is God. God will never give you something prematurely. He will never give you something that will destroy you. So if you're not getting that thing, then it's not for you. If you feel like you have to pray for something instead of it just coming to you, instead of it just being for you, it's not God. Because God's yes is the absolute yes. It's not a maybe, it's not a confusion. It is not you just having to worry about what this person thinks or what this person's going to do because you need them to prove that they're really into you or whatever else. You don't have to get them to prove anything because you will already know that. God will confirm it for you in His own way. And I don't mean the little flickers of light when you get a red flag and you think that that's God. If you know in your intuition, if you know in your heart and your soul that, and I shouldn't say heart, I mean, if you know in your soul, like you really feel uneasiness, it is not for you. I don't care how nice the person is. I don't care how good at faking it that guy is. But, and know that you need to trust your gut. Do not try to make that guy for you because he seems good, because he's showing you his representative, because he's pretending to be something that he's not. You really need to trust your gut, because when you get in it and you can't get out of that relationship, you're going to wish that you had listened to your intuition. When you get into a situation that's crazy and you find out he married, living a double life, you're gonna wish you had listened to your intuition. Yeah, he might have been perfect. Maybe he travels during the weekdays. You see him every single week. And on the weekends you just thought that he was just doing something else, but he's at home with his family. I'm just why did I come up with that story just now though? Like, this is why I be writing, because I really do like have like this whole like backstory that I done came up with about this imaginary guy that doesn't even exist. But for real, that's how it be. Like, I had this one person that I knew of, and she was talking about this guy who would come around and he would always be with her because he traveled driving trucks or whatever, and he would be around like Monday through Friday. And on the weekend, he was gone. And she didn't say anything about if they communicated on the weekend, but I'm just saying, you don't know. I mean, he traveling. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know, like, you don't know nothing. You know that you just seen this guy who seems like he's a nice guy. Hopefully, he is a nice guy and everything worked out. I'm not wishing anything bad on anyone or trying to put bad thoughts in your head. I'm just saying, be smart. Really, really guard your heart at all costs. Allow yourself to be vulnerable with the right person. Like, seek God first. Seek His understanding, His discernment, so that He can give you everything that you need, the wisdom that you need to make the best decision for yourself, so that you don't end up in some kind of toxic situation or with someone who never was supposed to be with you in the first place. And I say that because you could be with a nice person. There could be nothing wrong with this guy. He could be all right, but he could be controlling. He could be all right and drive you crazy, because what you need is not the things that he is. He might be the type of person who's all over the place and you might like structure. And him being all over the place and you trying to like be on a schedule might drive you crazy. You be trying to go to sleep at 8 o'clock and he up until 2 o'clock in the morning making a whole bunch of noise. Like, you gotta really be thanking God for like letting some people go in your life, because you don't know what he protected you from. You don't know what kind of craziness you was gonna have to deal with. You don't know what type of parent that person would have been. Maybe you do know, but you don't know everything about that person. You only see what you get to see right now. You don't know behind the scenes. You don't know what they struggle with. You don't know if they're dealing with some kind of psychological issue. You don't know if they have some kind of trauma that's lingering over them. You don't know what kind of toxicity might be leaking onto you. You don't want that kind of spiritually transmitted demon. Like, you don't want none of that. Like, I know it feels hard. It feels horrible. If it sucks, whatever else. Like, I've been there, done that. I understand. I'm not saying it because I'm sitting here judging you. I'm saying it because you deserve better and because you deserve what God has for you, not what you want. And even though you can't see it, understand that God would never hold anything back from you that meant you well, that was going to propel you forward, that was going to take you into the next level of your journey. He would only remove something that's going to hold you back, something that's going to leave you stagnant, something that isn't going to add to your life. So in knowing that, just know that you should appreciate the journey. And in conclusion, in knowing that, know that you should appreciate the journey and really just appreciate where you are in your season, what you're doing right now. Really know that whatever it is that's happening right now while you're on this journey, while you are going through your life, while you're in this season, just really rest in knowing that God got you. Understand that everything that you're doing right now You only get to do in this moment. You won't ever get this day, this hour, this second again. So while you have this moment, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate your life. Appreciate the journey, because everything that you're going through is for a reason. It's for a reason. It really is. And even when you feel like you're about to get spiritual amnesia, take a second and look at what God has already brought you through. Take a second and look at everything that God's already done, and the things that you learned through previous relationships or previous jobs or the or whatever else. Because for me, even though I couldn't see some things when I was going through them, the more that I live life, the more that I'm on this journey, I look back and I'm like, God, wow, you really did protect me from that thing, or God, wow, that really did teach me that I do have to be more upfront about this. I really do have to say what my standards are, or adhere to my standards for myself before someone else can. If this is important to me, I need to let it be known that it's important. And if someone doesn't see why, or understand, or respect me enough to honor my standards, then they don't deserve to be a part of my life. And yes, I might want to be nice to people, but being nice does not mean being walked all over. And sometimes you could think, oh, this is just something I do because I'm nice, but someone else would take it as you're doing this because they can do whatever they want and you still want them. But really, you're just a nice person. But understand that even you being nice to someone, like, you could just do a quick hi. You don't have to even do nothing else. Like, whenever you do anything, know that that is, it's a bonus. It's something that people should have to work for to get. It's not something that you just give everybody. It's not, you don't give everybody your time. You don't just give everybody an opportunity to be around you and your family, or to be going to an event or whatever else. You really have to make sure that you protect yourself and know that that is something that people get to, I don't want to say gain. I don't know what word it is that I'm looking for, but it's really something that, and I don't want to say a blessing or a gift. What is it? You can tell I'm tired because that's when the words just start leaving me. It's like, get some rest, Nisha. Get some rest. But no, it really is. It really is a. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? Huh. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know why I can't think of it, but this is just something that is something that someone should have to work for to get, not just something that you should just give to other people, because people feel like they can walk all over you when you allow them to have something or be a part of your life. Allowing them to be a part of your life should be something that only people get to have that really truly respect you, or honor you, or understand and really see your value. Not just anybody should be able to have that. And I don't mean that like in a like derogatory term, or like dig at anyone or anything like that. I'm just saying that for me, because I know, like, if I did this, other women or men are probably doing this as well. And I want you to know that is a privilege. Bam! That's the word that I was looking for. Okay. I don't know why I got so excited, but but it's a privilege to be a part of your life. It's a privilege to go on activities with you. It's a privilege to be in your circle, around your friends, your family. To be doing anything with you is a privilege. It's not uh you're just being nice. You might be a nice person and you might have thought that was being nice, but really think of it as a privilege. Like when your parents would give you a privilege when you would do something right, it was because you were doing the right thing, because you adhered to the rules. It's because you were trying to be on the right track. You might not have been perfect, but you were trying. And so in your life, when you have new friends, when you have people in your life, not everybody in your circle gets to go everywhere with you. Only people get to go there who deserve to be in that area of your life, who are going to really honor and respect you. And that's romantic, friendship, work, whatever else. Not everybody can go. Not everybody can be a part of every single part of your journey or every single thing that you are doing in your life. And I don't mean that in like a just to put a whole bunch of people down. I mean that in order for you to respect yourself and honor yourself, you are going to have to live like that. It might not be your personality. You might be the type of person that just likes inviting everyone everywhere because you want everyone to feel welcome and seen and to be included. But it's not your job to give them a privilege or allow them access to your life when they don't deserve it. It's not your responsibility to make other people feel comfortable if you feel uncomfortable. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself so that you can be the best for everyone else. You're not going to be able to do that if you are stunting your growth, if you are giving too much in an area that doesn't deserve it or in an area that shouldn't have it. And so I really hope that you really see and understand that and know that if you want someone to respect you, to honor you, if you want people in your life to your A team around, if you want the right people around, then you're going to have to start looking at everything that you have in your life as a privilege. It's a privilege for people to get to do those things, for people to be in certain areas of your life, for people to be in your presence around you, like whatever else. And I don't mean that in like a, oh, I got it like that, I'm all that kind of way. I mean it in a you respect yourself kind of way. You honor your time, you honor yourself, your mind, your body, and your soul. And in order for you to do that, you have to be about that life. You can't just, even if you give in a little bit, it's a little too much. It is. And we try to pretend and like talk, like make it seem like it's really not a big deal. But you know how you feel afterwards. You know how your spirit feels. You know how your energy is. You know how your self esteem feels when you do certain things like that, especially when someone doesn't deserve it. And so, already said in conclusion, but just appreciate the journey that you're on. Appreciate what God is taking you through because it's going to take you, it's going to help take you to the next level. It's going to help you become everything that God intended for you to be. Why does this always happen with my jeans? And I'm in the video and people are like, I thought you exercise every day. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, it's just, you really need to appreciate every day that you have, everything that God is allowing you to go through so that you can be all the things that God intends for you to be. And in order for you to do that, you're going to need to go through the journey.